Hi guys, it's Bazzy, the Everyday Vegan, and first of all, Happy New Year, as it is the 1st of January 2016, and believe it or not, I have abandoned all plans for this beautiful day. Well, when I say beautiful, it's quite cloudy and about to rain in the UK, but I've abandoned all plans just to make a Veganuary video for you. So today, I'm gonna repeat my video from last year, obviously with slightly different aspects in them, about top 10 tips for Veganuary or Veganuary, whatever you want to call it. So this is predominantly a video aimed at new vegans or people that are interested in vegetarianism or veganism and experimenting with it this January. For all my other subscribers, thank you so much for watching. As per usual, I'm now up to over 50,000 views and almost 1,800 subscribers, which is still unbelievable to me. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I hope you still enjoy this video as well, because there might be some things in there that you find interesting or that just remind you of why you went vegan in the first place. So let's get right into it. Top tip number 1. Don't worry about protein or vitamins or supplements or B12 or all of those things for Veganuary, because your body most of the time stores enough of that stuff for several months or sometimes up to several years in your body anyway. So if you have a month where you may or may not get enough of any of those supplements, do not worry about it for now. As an example, B12, your body can store from between 3 and 5 years of that stuff from other foods that you have had so far in your body, so you really haven't got to worry about it. I'm going on my 4th year of veganism now. It's crazy, time has flown by. And of course, I take supplements for that. Any vegan who doesn't and doesn't eat enriched foods, of course, is very, very silly, but you don't have to worry about that in your first month. Top tip number 2. Also, don't worry about calories. The great thing about veganism is that usually you can eat tons of stuff and you don't have to worry about carbohydrates versus proteins and all of that stuff. There are, of course, people that have very specific vegan diets like 80-10-10 or raw vegan diets, and that is all the stuff that you can explore later on. But in your first month of veganism, experimenting with Veganuary, just eat as much stuff as you can. Seriously, this is a free pass to eat tons and tons of stuff. My recommendation would be to try and eat healthily, so make it about health as much as about experimenting with veganism, but don't worry about eating too much food. Obviously, try and stay away from too greasy or too fatty foods, because that's not really healthy on an omnivore diet, and it isn't healthy on a vegan diet either. But otherwise, just gorge yourself with lots and lots of great food. Tip number 3, this is a new one for me compared to last year. Concentrate on the stuff that you can eat, not the stuff that you can't eat. A lot of people have this misconception about veganism that, well, you basically just have grass left to eat and otherwise maybe lettuce, which of course is complete nonsense. There are tons and tons and tons and tons of food that omnivores already eat that are just accidentally vegan, like potatoes, rice, broccolis, all of that sort of stuff. So concentrate on the stuff that you can eat. Explore your supermarkets. Have a little look around in the free from section. Have a little look around in the healthy food section, because on top of fruits and vegetables that's naturally vegan, there's a lot of stuff that most major supermarkets, especially in the UK, carry anyway. And while we're on the topic of concentrating on what you can do, reading labels gets so much easier. It's one of those things in the first few, well, probably about 2 or 3 or 4 months of veganism, I stood in the supermarket for hours sometimes, you know, things like this. Yeah, I happen to be here, and you sort of look through all the labels and you're trying to figure out, well, you know, lactate, is that, what is that? What have I got in inosinate diotequin? I have no idea what that is now, but the nice thing is some of them actually have vegetarian and vegan signs on them, and more major supermarket chains for their own home brand product actually do that. So last night I bought a Prosecco for having a glass of sparkly for midnight, and it actually said vegan on the label, so it made my shopping very, very easy, and that gets only easier over time. Another one of my bugbears are crazy complicated vegan cookbooks. Let me show you one of those. I got given this. This is a German one because I'm German, if you haven't guessed so far, and some of the stuff, honestly, I would have to do about a 200-pound food shop just to get the basic ingredients to make most of these recipes. The lists of ingredients that you need for some of those meals are like half a page. Look at that. That's just crazy. Vegan meals do not have to be complicated. So I've recently discovered this one here. It's called So What Do You Eat? And this is a vegan cookbook by a lady called Liz Cook. She also makes nutritional charts for your wall. First of all, it's beautifully illustrated and it's all handwritten. And the recipes are actually easy to do. There's like 7 different ingredients, and all of them you can buy at Aldi, so a supermarket with a somewhat limited range of things. And my favorite thing about this particular book, which you can buy for about $10 or so, is that they have an all-you-need shopping list. So if you have everything on this list, which is quite a lot, but then don't forget there's about 100 recipes in here or so. I'm probably exaggerating at the moment. You can just experiment yourself. Watch some of my videos if you want. Otherwise, just have a go yourself. Why don't you use Veganuary as an opportunity to educate yourself on the topic? So I got really excited when I started with veganism about educating myself about the stuff that I really had no idea about. So what happens in the egg industry? What happens in the dairy industry? How bad are slaughterhouses really? really? And do we, most importantly, actually need to consume any of those products? The answer, of course, is no. But I'm going to give you some recommendations in terms of stuff that you can look at. Forks Over Knives, Vegucated, and Cowspiracy are probably my 3 most favorite vegan documentaries. And they're not super preachy, they're not super brutal. I mean, a lot of people talk about Earthlings, which I'm not a big fan of myself because it's just scare tactics. Now, there are a few really good websites as well. The Vegan Society website is very good, so vegansociety.com. Vegan.com is very good as well. And a good friend of mine, Richard, has a website called vegansidekick.com. Not only are there a ton of really funny comics on there for you to enjoy, but he also has an FAQ section on the website, which have fantastic, very, very well thought through and very easy and straightforward answers to some of those crazy questions that vegans get, like where do you get your protein from, etc. So please enjoy educating yourself on the topic, so at least you can talk about it after. Even if you go back to vegetarianism or going back to being an omnivore, at least you're educated on the topic and can have the discussion. Probably the most important tip in all of these is do not beat yourself up if you slip up. Who cares? You know, you've challenged yourself to do something that you've never tried before. Your entire diet, your entire life was probably omnivore, or if you're lucky, vegetarian, but you've probably never experimented with veganism. And if you slip up, who cares? At least you've taken the pledge. And even if you go down the route of, well, I'm going to do veganism 6 days a week rather than 7, that's still a step in the right direction, and you're doing a lot of good with it, not only for yourself, but the planet and society, and of course animals. Especially important in our day and age is use the technology at your disposal. Now, I have a smartphone and I've got a laptop and I've got a tablet, and I use them regularly to educate myself on veganism, but also to make my daily life easier. If I look up recipes, I go to Google, I go on Instagram, I go on Facebook, I go on Twitter, and I find cool vegan easy recipes. So if you want to make pancakes, type in vegan pancakes, and I guarantee you will find an alternative for whatever meal you want to make, whether it's pulled pork or whether it's steak or whether it's chicken wings, whatever you want to make, there is a vegan alternative for it. Another app when it comes to socializing, which I found difficult in the beginning, I do no longer find it difficult, but I found it difficult in the beginning, is an app called Happy Cow. Now, I happen to be a Happy Cow ambassador, so I'm a big fan of the app anyway, but essentially it uses a location and it tells you really, really cool vegan restaurants and vegetarian restaurants or vegetarian shops or vegetarian supermarkets near your current location. I don't tend to use it when I'm at home, but I use it and it's invaluable to me when I'm traveling around the world. So please use the technology at your disposal to make going vegan for Veganuary easier on yourself. While we're speaking of social networking, while we're speaking of the internet, one thing that's for sure is haters are gonna hate. There's nothing you can do about it. People are challenged by the idea of veganism because their entire life they've been told they need milk and protein and meat and it's just natural and we've done it for thousands of years. And if you rattle the foundations of a belief that someone has held for such a very long time, people tend to get defensive and they tend to ridicule the person that is trying something different. So you may get some comments throughout Veganuary on your Facebook or on your Twitter if you talk about it, but let the haters hate. You have made the absolute right decision. You at least experimenting with it. And I think for anything in life, at least you should try it, or at least you should educate yourself about it before you abandon the idea altogether. And you have done that. So thinking about Veganuary, doing Veganuary is a step in the right direction. So let the haters hate, let them make their silly comments, let them post loads of memes on your Facebook page because you're gonna get that. But you have a growing population behind you that have also seen that veganism is an alternative lifestyle that is very, very healthy and it's good for the planet and it's sustainable for the ecology, etc. And you have now become part of that. So let the haters hate, don't take it too harshly. On the same note, don't end up being too militant or too preachy yourself. I mean, you're about to embark on a month of educating yourself, eating a healthy lifestyle. You may find some immediate health benefits, which of course would be wonderful. You might feel fitter, you might feel healthier, you might feel less bloated and less weighed down by all the food that you've eaten in the past. You may find that this new diet, this new lifestyle has opened your mind to a lot of new things in terms of how you see the world and how you think about society and sociology and ecology and all of those wonderful things. And sometimes, and unfortunately this is something that I struggle with as a vegan in the vegan community, it tends to make people quite militant and quite preachy because they suddenly feel it is their job and has become their obligation to convince everybody that veganism is the answer. Please try and not do that. Give yourself time. Be vegan for a long time. You will see all the struggles that you have as a vegan, but also all the amazing things that it brings to your life. For me, it was mainly friendship and educating myself and seeing the world through a different viewpoint. You will get all of that, so please don't turn into some sort of militant, enlightened soldier for veganism that has to suddenly convince everybody else that it's the only answer, because that's the last thing we want. Enjoy it. Have fun. Enjoy Veganuary for exactly what it is, an experiment with veganism. If you love it, please stay with us, or please consider vegetarianism, or consider Meatless Monday, or however far you want to take that journey. I hope you educate yourself. I hope you see the fun side of cooking and preparing and finding vegan food. I hope you make new friends, and I hope you find new information on the internet, and I hope you have a really, really great Veganuary. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you like the top 10 tips tips that I've given you. If you want to see more videos like this and my other adventures on YouTube, please subscribe. To all my existing subscribers, Happy New Year yet again. Thank you so much for staying with me. And to all of you, have a fantastic Veganuary and a great 2016. See you later, guys. Bye bye.